Mortal Kombat. Wow. Now we really are talking about my childhood. Let's go back to the early days of fighting games. Boy, in the 90s, Mortal Kombat sure made a big impact on the video game industry. I mean, when this game came out, it wasn't the fact that it just had blood and gore, which prior to that was kind of obscure or unseen in video games. It was something about it that, like, you wanted to play it, you just, over and over, you really, I mean, it had some kind of addiction factor to it. I don't know if it was the violence and the gore, but you wanted to play Mortal Kombat, you really did. I mean, what kid didn't want to play a Mortal Kombat game? I mean, I remember owning the Genesis. I had the privilege of playing, like the gory Mortal Kombats because it's funny. For the Super Nintendo supposedly being, a better system overall and having the better ports on it. I always hear they had the better ports of Earthworm Jim, the better ports of Battletoads, the better ports of whatever. If there was a game on the Genesis, they said there was a better port of it on the Super Nintendo. And you know my stance on that. I don't see that. I mean, here's a perfect example talking about Mortal Kombat for the Super Nintendo. Did you know that the Super Nintendo didn't even have blood? Yeah, that's funny because when these games came out, the censors, like, they were all over Nintendo because they thought that, that the kids were going to be traumatized by, the blood and the gore or whatever. So they didn't even have blood in the first two games. I'm not sure about the later ones, but I know the first two had the blood removed, and so that's pretty lame, right? The Genesis version had the blood removed also in the first Mortal Kombat, but it had a code where you could unlock it, and it was pretty well known, so that, that was good. They had a way to bring back the blood effect, which, added a lot to the game, I thought. So anyway, okay, that's a little history about the games, right? The Mortal Kombat games. Okay, well, this is what I wanted to talk about primarily today. The Mortal Kombat movies, the DVD releases of Mortal Kombat, and the sequel, the very unpopular, this has got to be one of the most unpopular sequels in movie history. I mean, it even says on the front of the DVD, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, destroy all expectations, and yeah, it destroyed all expectations, alright. I mean, well, I'm gonna get into that a little bit later. First, I want to talk about the first Mortal Kombat film. Okay, well, now the game, the game gave a pretty good base of characters. They had some really stylized, characters they could build on for a movie. You had Scorpion and Sub-Zero and Liu Kang, and so on, Raiden. So yeah, they had a good base of characters they could build on, and they did. They created a good story out of these characters. They used the Mortal Kombat backstory. They used it well. It was executed pretty well. I mean, they changed a few things in the movie, for just to put it into a movie format, which worked pretty well. I like the costumes, and the fighting was pretty well choreographed. A lot of the common complaints I hear about this movie is that it didn't really have gore. So how is this Mortal Kombat? Well, I mean, no, it didn't have gore, but it didn't have a 17 rating. It was PG-13. So I mean, they wanted the kids to be able to see it because the kids were the ones playing the Mortal Kombat games mostly. I mean, it wasn't that many adults playing. There was probably a few, but it was the kids who wanted to play the games and watch the movie. So they had to give it a kids rating, at least PG-13, so the kids could see it. So that explains that. And okay, and the movie was good. I mean, it didn't have the gore, but I mean, it had really well choreographed fighting, so that was good. And it had likable actors. I mean, the actor who played who played Liu Kang, Robin Shou is his name. He was perfect for that role, I have to admit. I mean, if they ever do another Mortal Kombat film, which has been talked about for years, supposedly to be in the works, they gotta get Robin Shou to be Liu Kang. He's just the perfect Liu Kang. So, he was good. He was good as Liu Kang. And what else? And Goro, they had Goro, and Goro was really, I mean, he wasn't a CGI, so I mean, they didn't do CGI too much back then. It was really a primitive, art form, you might say. That wasn't really an option. They used like old school, like just Goro was a real like I don't know. He was like an animatronic or something. I don't know. I'll have to look into. But Goro was like a real like movie prop or something. And so yeah. And there was some quotable things in this first movie. Like there's this one line, it's really funny, where Johnny Cage is fighting Goro, and like he doesn't really have any way to win because Goro's pretty much unbeatable. So he tricks Goro and he leads him up to a cliff. Oh no, what happens is actually they start the fight and Johnny Cage does his his famous split punch, and he punches Goro in the nuts, and it's really funny because like he says, "Damn, that hurt." That really cracks me up. I mean, there was some humor, and then Raiden's laughing, and that's just really funny. There's some good humor in this first movie, and there's some good action. So this was a good movie. Okay, now getting into the sequel. Oh boy, here we go. Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Here we go. What should I start with first? The fact that they couldn't get the same actors to play like 3 of the 4 characters, so it's like, they changed the actress that was Sonya. They changed the actor that was Johnny Cage. They changed the actor that was Raiden, and that was really obvious. The Johnny Cage look-alike was pretty close. The Sonya look-alike, that probably wasn't that noticeable, but, Raiden, I mean, why couldn't they get the same actor to play Raiden? I kind of liked the first Mortal Kombat Raiden. He was, he seemed a little more believable for the role, I thought, So yeah, and then there was the costumes and the props in this movie. They seemed like they didn't have the same budget they did for the first movie, and things just looked a lot cheaper looking. Like they got the props from the Power Rangers. The cast of Power Rangers. They didn't have a big budget. I mean, what was the deal here? The Sub-Zero and Scorpion costumes looked really cheap, I thought, compared to the first film. They looked cheap looking, and then there was fighting, and it didn't seem to be as well staged as the first film. I mean, it was pretty good, and the music was good. I liked the music in this film, actually. This had a lot of good techno music, so the music was good. The acting was a little, I don't know, it didn't have the same impact as the first film, and the characters didn't have the same impact as the first film. They tried to cram too many characters into one movie. That was a big mistake. I mean, they tried to do the whole, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 cast of characters, and it didn't really work, and they didn't even give attention to some of the most popular characters like, Stryker, and, just, they didn't really do a good job with this movie. I mean, the ending, the last fight, the CGI, they attempted CGI, and it looked, I don't know, it didn't look really, I mean, it was really obvious CGI effect, and I mean, a lot of people scoff at it because it was so primitive looking. It really was. I mean, I have to watch it again because I haven't seen it in a while, but I don't remember it looking that good. So yeah, the Mortal Kombat Annihilation, not a very good sequel. Didn't live up to the expectations, but